Hello, good people. Welcome to the Save Happy Life channel. And if you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking our videos as we encourage each other in this journey of parenthood. Yesterday we started on a topic called peer pressure. And we promised each other that today we shall continue with the same topic at another level. Briefly, yesterday we looked at peer pressure, the triggers, the peer pressure trigger mechanisms, 3 of them, namely the social reinforcement, where our children, your child, my child, tries to seek acceptance, approval, and praise from those who matter to them. Those are their peers. And the other one is modeling behavior, where children observe, recall, and replicate or reproduce the behavior. And this is reinforced by the praises that they receive from their peers. And the third one is cognitive processing, where peer pressure, where ability to resist peer pressure is related to the maturity level of the brain. Today, we talk about types of peer pressure in relation to our children, particularly our teenage sons and daughters. This is because this is the age where children are searching for identity and they are forming new friendship. Remember, this is the time they have just left primary school and they are friends in primary school, and now they have gone to high school where they encounter new friends and they have to fit within this new group of friends. Teenage is the age where children also experience sudden freedom, a little freedom, much more than the freedom they had when they were in primary school. And this is occasioned by social issues such as the initiation ceremony, where boys go through circumcision depending on the culture, and also girls now mature into puberty, when they also begin feeling they are women and their bodies are also changing accordingly. So this age comes with a little independence, also because they have passed from primary to secondary school, and therefore they are able to travel, or they are entrusted to travel from home to school and from school to home, and especially when they're in boarding school and they do these frequent trips alone many times. It is also an age where they have the freedom of handling some little pocket money, which is supposed to last them a term. They're given like 500 or 1,000 or 2,000, depending on the parent or depending on the need of the child. They're able to have that money in the hands. It is also an age of experimental age. They want to try this, they want to try that. They want to experiment with alcohol, they want to experiment with drugs, they want to experiment with sexual activity and any other risky behavior that their circle of friends is engaged in. So today, these are the types of peer pressure that our children are likely to fall into. Number 1, we shall list 4 of them. And number 1 is oral or spoken peer pressure. This is peer pressure by word of mouth. This is where your child is persuaded to do something. Depending on the convictions and the moral strength or upbringing of the child may be able to resist the suggestion that is coming from a person or from a friend. And this happens more if it is one person telling the child, do this or try this. But now when they're in a group, it becomes overwhelming. When one says, hey, try, another one says, hey, you can try. I also tried. I'm also doing it. 5, 10 of them telling one child to do something. It overwhelms the ability to rationalize or to reason in the brain, and the child succumbs to those to the oral pressure or to the spoken pressure. Type of peer pressure number 2 is visual, what a child sees. This is unspoken pressure. And this is what the child sees in friends, in celebrities, in socialites, and other people who matter. It could be football heroes or other sports heroes. So what they do is that they look at these people and they want to be like them. They see visual, unspoken, they're seeing, and then they want to be like them. This is where you find them wanting to dress like these friends that they admire. And again, at this age, particularly the fashion trends, they easily influence a teenage. That's where you find them wearing what socialite X is wearing, what celebrity B is wearing, because they want to be associated with that. That is visual peer pressure. Third type of peer pressure is contact or feeling or direct peer pressure. This happens when the person who wants to influence your child actually touches the child or places whatever it is they want the child to try in the hands of the child or on the lips of the child. For example, if it is somebody trying to sway your child into sexual act, they will hold the child, they will make all manner of attempts to make the child feel that they ought actually to engage in the sexual act. And similarly, if they want the child to start smoking, they'll even place the cigarette on the hand, they'll place the roll of bangi on the hands, or they will place the beer mug on the hands, or even on the lips, and like they want to tilt it into the mouth. So this contact persuades the child into giving in. And finally, because of the close contact, that feeling of the other person who is persuading the child into sexual intercourse, or the feeling of the beer mug, or the feeling of the cigarette in the hand, the feeling of the roll of bangi, the feeling of the drug in the hand, makes the brain to succumb to the pressure. The fourth type of peer pressure is third party or indirect peer pressure. And this happens when a group tells stories of what the others were doing or what was happening to the others. For example, a group of friends may come and tell your child, we went to place XYZ and this is what we were doing, this is how the party went, or group ABCD, so and so, so and so, so and so, you know them. They went to place XYZ and this is what they were doing. So the child feels, I want to join that group so that I also become like them, so that I'm part of the history, I'm part of the story next time. And they succumb into these party clubs, into these sleepover clubs, and before you know it, the child has been sucked by that the third party or indirect peer pressure. However, peer pressure is not always negative. We also have positive peer pressure. And this is what really, as parents, we long for, we crave for, we really would want for our children. The positive peer pressure is found in study group or discussion groups, sports groups, religious groups, where children influence each other into doing what is desirable and what is good. Something interesting, parents, we are the most powerful influencers of our children. They admire us right from the time they are young, and they continue to admire us much as they become rebellious at some point in teenage. They, at the back of their mind, they still recognize us and they still know that we are the best to look up to. Therefore, we have a responsibility to behave well, to be good role models to them, so that they can want to copy us. And we should also encourage non-judgmental discussions between them and us. And at the same time, when we realize that they are in good or healthy relationships, we encourage those kinds of relationships so that they feel that they are making the right choice and they want to continue doing what is right. Let us keep communication lines open with our children so that they are encouraged to share issues with us, and that way we give them an opportunity to correct them, to hear their issues and to correct what is right or wrong, and encourage what is right. Parents, we are here for the full length of parenthood. It is a permanent job. It is a permanent responsibility, and we are not giving up on our children, never ever. It is our right to have them. It is our responsibility to ensure that they grow into responsible citizens as much as is within our power. Please share, subscribe, and we meet tomorrow. Thank you very much.